You earned the same money this month as last month, maybe even a bit more. But somehow there's less left at the end. The rent's the same, the bills are the same. You haven't done anything different, and yet the money just goes. You're not imagining it, and you're not bad with money. The UK in 2026 is genuinely more expensive than it was 3 years ago. Inflation's at 3.3% right now, according to the ONS. Energy and food are still well above pre-2022 levels, and most people's wages haven't kept up. So if you feel squeezed, you're not making it up. Now, the standard advice is make a budget, cancel your subscriptions, stop buying coffee. Nothing wrong with any of that, but it misses the actual problem. Today, I'll show you the real cost of UK life on a typical salary in 2026, using the latest figures from the ONS, Ofgem and gov.uk, not vibes, and 5 practical moves you can make this month to claw back control. No extreme frugality. No stop buying coffee. Things that actually work with source numbers behind them. I'm a researcher and I read the data so you don't have to. I plow through all the books, papers and small print on making money simple. And then I translate it into plain words on this channel so you don't have to wade through any of it yourself. If that sounds useful, please hit subscribe. It really helps the channel reach more people who could use this. Let me show you what UK life actually costs right now in 2026. Not national averages mixing studio flats in Sunderland with 3 beds in Kensington. A realistic monthly budget for someone on a fairly typical UK salary. I'm going to use £30,000 a year as the baseline. That's below the latest ONS full-time median of around £39,000, but it's right around the all-employee median once part-time workers are included. It's a very common starting salary in service, retail, hospitality, and entry-level professional roles, so it fits a lot of working people. £30,000 a year sounds like £2,500 a month, but that's gross. From episode 2, you'll remember that's before income tax and national insurance get deducted. After those, your take-home, what actually lands in your bank account, is about £2,090 a month. That's the real number. That's what someone in this position has to work with. Housing, the biggest cost. The latest ONS data puts the average UK rent at £1,377 a month. That's up 3.4% on a year ago, the lowest annual rate of growth since 2022, but still a decade high in absolute terms. Outside London, Rightmove's Q4 2025 figures put advertised rents around £1,370. The picture varies by region. Average rents are around £770 in the northeast, just over £1,000 in Scotland, and over £2,200 in London. But the point stands. Rent is taking a bigger share of UK take-home than it has in 20 years. For someone on £30,000 renting modestly outside London, let's say £900 a month for a room or a small one-bed, that's already 43% of take-home gone on one bill. Groceries. A realistic monthly food budget for one person in 2026 is around £250 to £350. Food inflation's currently 3.7%, according to the ONS, and food prices overall are still around 12 to 18% above 2023 levels. Energy. Gas and electricity. Ofgem's price cap for April to June 2026 is £1,641 a year for a typical dual-fuel household paying by direct debit. That's about £137 a month. The cap fell 6.6% in April, partly because of changes announced in the autumn budget that took some green levies off bills. So energy went down, but it's still about 35% above pre-crisis levels. Transport. A monthly bus or train pass is often £100 to £200. If you drive, petrol's at around £1.40 per litre as of March, the highest since August 2024, partly because of conflict in the Middle East pushing global oil prices up. So if driving is unavoidable, £300 a month between fuel, insurance and maintenance. Council tax. We covered this in episode 1. The latest gov.uk figures for 2026-27 show the average Band D council tax in England is £2,392 a year. That's almost £200 a month, up 4.9% on last year. For a Band A or Band B flat, which is what most one-bedrooms are valued at, it's lower. Typically 130 to 170 a month. With a single-person discount, less, and it's separate from rent. Phone, broadband, subscriptions. 40 to 60 minimum. Add those up. For someone renting modestly outside London at £900 a month, the basics come to around £1,700 to £2,000. On a take-home of £2,090, that leaves between £90 and £390 for everything else. Clothes, socialising, a haircut, a birthday present, an emergency, anything unexpected. Now, I want to be clear about something. This isn't a spending problem. If your money disappears every month, it's not because you're buying too many lattes or being reckless. It's because the basics, the things you can't avoid, now take up nearly all the money you earn. That's a maths problem, not a discipline problem. But here's what most people miss. When the maths is this tight, small changes have an outsized impact. A £50 saving per month sounds tiny, but if you've only got 200 of breathing room, £50 is a quarter of your freedom. That's what the rest of this video is about. Finding those £50 wins. Move 1. Find out exactly where your money is going. Not roughly, not I think I spend about X on food. Exactly. Because until you know the real numbers, every other move is a guess. This sounds boring. Nobody wants to look at their bank statements. But here's what I've found. Every single person I've spoken to about money who's actually done this, gone through their last 3 months of statements line by line, finds something they didn't know about. A subscription they forgot to cancel. A direct debit for something they no longer use. A regular payment that's quietly gone up. I call these money leaks. Small, automatic payments that drip money out of your account. A direct debit, by the way, is when you give a company permission to take money from your account automatically every month. Once it's set up, you don't think about it, and the company doesn't remind you. Most people have between £100 and £300 a year leaking through these holes without noticing. Some have more. There are free apps that scan your bank account and flag these for you. Two well-known ones are Emma and Plum. They connect to your bank, show you every regular payment, and highlight the ones worth questioning. Both linked in the description. And the free pounds and cents budget template, also linked below, does the manual version of the same thing. Move 2, the 50-30-20 reality check. You've probably heard of the 50-30-20 rule. It's a budgeting guideline that says 50% of your take-home should go on needs, 30% on wants, and 20% on savings. The original idea came from US Senator Elizabeth Warren in a book called All Your Worth in 2005. In theory, it's fine, but I want to be honest with you. For a lot of people in the UK in 2026, the 50-30-20 split is fantasy. When rent alone takes 40 to 60% of take-home, there's no way needs fit into 50%. That's not your fault. The rule was designed for a different economy in a different country 2 decades ago. So what do people in this situation often do instead? Use the 50-30-20 as a compass, not a rule. Work out what your real needs percentage actually is. If it's 75% right now, that's the starting point. The goal isn't to hit 50% next month. The goal is to know where you stand and slowly, over months, not days, shift the balance. Even moving from 5% savings to 8% is a meaningful win. On a £2,000 take-home, that's an extra £60 going to your future every month instead of vanishing. And the way you do that is by combining all 5 moves in this video. Move 3, the loyalty tax. Here's something that quietly costs UK households hundreds of pounds every year. Loyalty. Not the good kind, the expensive kind. In the UK, many companies, broadband providers, mobile networks, insurance firms, energy suppliers, charge existing customers more than new ones. When your contract ends, they roll you onto something called a standard rate or out-of-contract rate, which is almost always higher than what a new customer would pay. Citizens Advice has a name for this. They call it the loyalty penalty. Their research, conducted with the Competition and Markets Authority, found that across 5 essential markets – broadband, mobile, home insurance, mortgages and savings – Loyal customers pay an average of £877 a year more than new customers for the same services. 877 per household, per year. Specifically, if you've been with the same broadband provider for 2 or 3 years without renegotiating, Citizens Advice analysis found you're typically paying around £113 a year more than a new customer would for the same package. That's a 43% markup. Now multiply that across every bill. Energy, car insurance, home or contents insurance, phone contract. Each one has a potential loyalty tax baked in. The fix is simple, even if it's not glamorous. Once a year, sit down for an afternoon, list every recurring bill, and check. Either switch to a cheaper alternative, comparison sites do most of the work, or call your existing provider, mention you found a cheaper quote elsewhere, and ask what they can do. Many will offer a better deal to keep you. This is genuinely the easiest money in this entire video. One afternoon of phone calls and comparison site clicking can return £200 to £600 a year in a typical household. The reason most people don't do it is that it feels boring. But boring things that save hundreds of pounds are the whole point of this channel. Move 4. Pay yourself first. Move 4 is a mindset shift, and it's the single most important budgeting habit I've come across in the personal finance literature. Most people do this. They get paid at the end of the month, they spend throughout the month, and whatever's left at the end goes into savings. The problem? There's almost never anything left. Life fills the gap. A dinner out, a sale, a repair, a treat because you've had a hard week. The money evaporates. Pay yourself first is the opposite. On the day pay arrives, before any of it gets spent, a set amount moves into a separate savings account. It doesn't have to be a lot, even £25. The trick is to make it automatic. Most banks let you set up a standing order. That's an instruction telling your bank to send a specific amount of money to a specific account on a specific date, every month, without you doing anything. Set it for the day after payday. Money goes out before you see it. You spend what's left, and savings build without willpower. Now, you might be thinking, I barely have anything left as it is. How am I supposed to save when there's nothing spare? Here's what people who've tried it tend to find. When even a small amount moves automatically on payday, you adjust. You spend slightly less without noticing. It's like the money was never there. And over 12 months, even £50 a month becomes £600. That's an emergency fund. That's options. That's a buffer between you and the next crisis. Move 5. Check your tax code. Again. Move 5. I keep coming back to this one because it matters that much. If you watched episode 1 or episode 2, you've heard me mention it. There's a reason I'm repeating it. Your tax code is the single fastest way to put money back in your pocket. Not eventually, not over a year. This month. If your tax code is wrong, and we covered in episode 1 just how common that is, especially for newcomers, people with 2 jobs, or anyone who's recently changed jobs, you could be losing £200 to £300 a month. Quick refresher. Your tax code is a short code on your payslip, usually 1257L for someone with the standard personal allowance, that tells your employer how much tax to take. If it's wrong, the wrong amount comes out every month. And unlike the other moves in this video, this one doesn't only save money going forward. If someone's been on the wrong code and overpaying, HMRC's process for refunding overpaid PAYE is described on gov.uk. It's money already earned, sitting in the wrong place. I put this as move 5 not because it's least important, it might be the most important, but because it's the thing I want sticking with you when this video ends. The thing that takes a few minutes, sits there in plain sight on the next payslip, and could be worth more than any other move in the list combined. The free pounds and cents starter kit walks through the tax code check in 20 minutes. It's check 2 in the kit, and the link's in the description. If nothing else from this video sticks, the tax code check is the one worth the time. 2 free tools to help you put these 5 moves into action. The pounds and cents starter kit walks you through 5 core money checks, including the tax code one we just talked about, your payslip and your pension. 20 minutes, free. The pounds and cents budget template is a simple spreadsheet. Plug in your take-home pay, list your bills, and it shows you exactly where your money is going, what your real 50-30-20 split looks like, and where the leaks are. It does the maths for you. Also free, both linked in the description. And drop a comment below. Which move are you trying first? What's the bill that shocks you most every month? The answers help me pick what to cover next. Living in the UK in 2026 is genuinely expensive. That's not changing overnight, and pretending otherwise would be insulting. But the 5 moves in this video, finding your leaks, knowing your real numbers, beating the loyalty tax, paying yourself first, and checking your tax code, none of them require earning more money. They're about keeping more of the money already earned. Thanks so much for watching. If this was useful, please subscribe. It genuinely helps the channel reach more people who'd benefit. See you in the next one. That's pounds and cents.